Hi, welcome back. Today we want to talk about campaigns with MSM. Um, for me, I like to think of campaigns as programming for digital marketers. So if you're a digital marketer and you understand how to create campaign automations, then you must be a pro. So campaigns are like the art of every marketing activity. So, basically, if you are new to this, I would advise you to go through this campaign overview. A campaign is a marketing activity that aligns components and channels through which you can publish your content in a coordinated, strategically timed approach to meet business objective. After you've had your contacts and set up the required channels, you can create campaigns to build meaningful relationships with your contacts. So, for those that are new to digital marketing, you might want to understand what campaigns are, first of all. All right. So today we are looking at how to create a campaign. We're going to look at some of the prerequisites that you need to have done before you can create a campaign and how to actually create this campaign using the campaign builder on MSM, which is kind of straightforward. So it's going to be an interesting video for us. All right. But before we start, I would like to take you through a scenario that would make us understand this better. Now, like I said, this video is for professional digital marketers, or if you're just an enthusiast, you're interested in taking your marketing to the next level, then this video is for you as well. All right, so let's look at a very simple example. So let's say you have a real estate lead generation campaign that you're trying to run. So let's say you want to generate leads for a particular course or a particular program for sales, what have you. Now, we're going to go through a series of steps. For example, looking at these time-based steps, we have day one, lead submission. This is where people submit their form. So this is usually maybe from your landing page, getting information, basically getting people's emails. That is day zero. Day one, you want to provide additional information. So this example is an example for a real estate course lead generation. Okay. Now, in your case, your marketing objective can be different, but everything follows the same principle. So let's imagine after they submit their form, the next thing you want to do is to provide additional information the second day, sending an email with additional information about the course, such as an ebook or a white paper. You guys know how this goes. So, day three, you want to offer a free consultation. For example, send an email offering a free consultation to discuss their financial goals and how your course can help them achieve their goals. So, basically, these are steps that you need to take to eventually convert your lead into sales. Okay, so how you program this to automatically run on its own is what we call campaign automation. So, a system that allows you to program this as a digital marketer. These are steps you need to take whenever you receive lead. You need to take different steps to convert that lead. So, however, for you to work smarter and efficiently, you need to do it in such a way that it is automated. So, when that process is automated, that's what we call campaign automation. So, very quickly, let's see how we can create this campaign, this sample campaign on MSM. So, let's go. Um, on MSM, you will notice there's a campaign menu right here. So you click on campaigns. Now, before you start this, you must ensure that you've covered the prerequisites of creating a campaign. Before you can create a campaign, you must understand some basic concepts. You must have started using MSM. So campaign can be the first thing you're creating. For example, for you to use a campaign, you must know what contact segments are. You must know what forms are and maybe a landing page. You must understand all those concepts first of all, because without contacts, you can't create a successful campaign. Now, you must have set up all everything you are going to need in your campaign. For example, if you are going to be sending email, whatever you are going to use in your campaign, you must have created them. These are the things that make your campaign easy to create. And if you are going to be needing a landing page where you collect lead into your campaign, then you must have created all this. So this is an advanced class for digital marketers. Okay, so creating your first campaign. Let's go to MSM. Now, once you click on campaigns, you click on new. As you click on new, you give your campaign a name. So let's call this sample demo campaign. Yeah, pretty much straightforward. Sample demo campaign. If you like, you can also describe your campaign in the description box. However, it is not important. Now, once you have done that, there's a few things you need to know here. Allow contacts to restart the campaign. So, depending on the type of campaign you're creating, you must decide if you want contact to be able to restart. Most by default, this should be no. You can only set it to yes for a campaign that you might want your lead to go through over and over again, like a repetitive campaign. However, most of these campaigns are like a one-time campaign. So if it's a one-time campaign, then you set this to no. Now, ensure this published is set to no until you are done designing, building your campaign. Always make sure that you don't set publish to yes until you're done. Now, once that is understood, you can then head over to launch campaign builder, which that is where the magic happens. Let's go. So when you click launch campaign builder, the first thing you need in your campaign is your contact source. So that is why you must have created either a segment and you have contact in that segment, or you have a form that you are using to receive data into the system. Okay, so these two things are important for you to create a contact source. Now, if you select a segment, now you can select multiple sources. You can have sources coming from a segment. You can also have sources coming from a form. So if you select segment, you will be required to select the particular segment that you are referring to. So once you've created your segment, you can just select that segment and click on add. So basically, you have added a source of data. Now, take note, that is the source of data for the campaign that we're about to build. Remember, I said building a campaign is like programming for digital marketer. It's quite interesting. Just follow me. Now, I might want to add another source of data for this campaign. All I could do is just put my mouse on these small circles and you'll see a plus button. You can either have the plus in front or plus in the back. It's the same thing. So if you click on this, you can select another contact source, which could be a form. So this will ask you to select the form. So if it's a form that you have created, then you should know the name of the form you've created and just select that form. So for now, I'm just going to be selecting any form. This is a demo. So you select the form. So basically, what you're saying, what you're saying is that any contact that comes in from either of this, you know, you is your contact source. Okay. However, I would advise that you pick a single source, you determine what your source is going to be. If your source is going to be coming from a form, then it's better. That way, everybody who submits that form enters into your campaign. So you can delete an action by just hovering over it and deleting. So let's say what we have is just a source from this form. Now, this is where the fun begins. If you've designed your flow like this, so usually you take your first action when somebody submits your form. So you can take your first action at the form level, meaning, for example, immediately send a confirmation email thanking them for their interest and providing an overview of your course. So this means that you must have created an email that contains this thank you and an overview of your course. Don't forget following this my example. So in this case, there's two ways you can go about this. It could be that you have already sent this confirmation mail at the form level. If you have sent this email at the form level, then you don't need to do anything at for this on the campaign level. But however, if you did not do this at the form level, then you can do this at the campaign level. You just have to decide. All right. So if I'm to take this action after a lead submits my form, sending a confirmation email, all I have to do is go back to my campaign and click on the plus button under it. Okay? Then once I click on the plus button, what I'm about to take is an action. Okay, what I'm about to take is an action. So that is why I said building a campaign is like programming for digital marketers. So you must understand what you are about to do. What are you about to do? Are you about to make a decision? Are you about to check a condition, or are you about to take an action? What I'm about to do is take an action, which is sending a mail. So I click on action, and then I will see a list of actions that is possible to take. And one of these action is called send email. Take notes. Send email is different from send email to user. Send email. So always make sure that you check the information before you select an action for you to understand what each action represents. So in this case, what I want to do is to send email. So when I click on send email, then the next thing is it will ask me to give that action a name. In this case, the name of my action is send a confirmation mail. So I'm going to give my action a name, send a confirmation name. You can give this any name. This is just for you to identify that action later. Then you determine when you want this event to execute. Is it immediately? Is it at a relative time or at a specific date or time? In our case, we want this event to be executed immediately. Now, the next thing is for you to select the particular email you want to send. Remember, I told you, you must have created all your emails on MSM before you start a campaign. All the emails you know that you are going to be needing in this campaign must have been created before you even start your campaign. That makes your campaign easy for you to create, because if you've created all your emails, you can create your campaigns no matter how complex within few minutes. However, if your email is not ready at this point, then it means at every action you'll be creating a new email, which is still possible at this point. It just makes the job slower for you. So I will advise you, map out all the actions you want to take in your campaign funnel like this. Identify all the emails you need and create them first of all on the platform. So once you have created them on the MSM platform, you can now go ahead and create the campaign. This way, all you'll be doing is select the mail. So you just be selecting the mail. In my case, I'm just going to be selecting different mails. They don't really apply. Okay. The purpose of this video is just to teach you how to create a campaign. So I'm just going to be selecting a mail. Let me see if I can see something. Yeah, like a thank you mail, right? Thank you mail. So I'm just going to be selecting that mail. Now you must decide if your mail is transactional or marketing. Now this is easy to know. A transactional mail is a mail that is resulting as an action. Okay, if a mail is as a result of an action, then it is transactional. In this case, it is transactional because this person is getting this mail because they took an action on our form. So definitely this is a transactional mail. If the contact did not take an action before you want to send this, then it's going to be a marketing mail. So as a digital marketer, you should know this already. So it's always advisable to preview your mail just to be sure that you have selected the right mail, because once you select a mail, the preview will be available. But in this case, because of our time, I'm not going to be previewing. I'm just going to add. Now we have successfully programmed the first action in our campaign. The next thing is to go back to our drawing board and look at the next action. What is the next action? The next action is one day after. Provide additional information. So we were to send an email with additional information. That's the next action. But however, take note, this action should be taken a day after. This is one of the beauty of campaign. So what you do is you copy this as your title, you come back and say plus again, take an action. You select take an action. The action you want to take is also send email. So this time around, you select the same thing. We are basically doing the same thing, but something will be different here. Now, in this case, are you executing this immediately? No, you are not executing this immediately. Remember, in my in my in my drawing plan here, this email is supposed to go out a day after. Okay, a day after my lead has submitted. All right, so it's supposed to go out after. So what I do now is I'll come here and say I'm not sending this immediately. I'm sending this at a relative time period. So when you select relative time period, you select the number of days and you make sure that days is selected. You can use different parameters here. You can use minutes, you can use hours, but in this case, we are using day. All right. So once we use day, once that is selected, you can leave every other option and just select the mail that you want to send. So just select the mail. Let's say this is the mail. You select it and then you add. So can you see? So you are already building your campaign. This is what I love about this. You can drag this whatever in a different fancy way, anyhow you like. Just follow the arrow. So you can see this campaign, it will send a confirmation mail immediately. It will wait one day and send additional information. So let's go back to the drawing board. What's the next action? The next action is also send email offering free consultation. So day 3, you want to send um, a consultation mail. All right. So that is how you continue to program this. So you can continue to program this like this and then send mail again. So send mail is one of the most common action to take. However, you can take as many actions you want in this campaign. In fact, it is an endless tree of automation depending on your imaginations. As wide as your imaginations can be, this campaign can do it for you. All right. So this one is going to be sent 3 days later. All right. So we are doing this day 3. So 3 days later, this we go. Now you have to be careful. All right. Now you need to understand timing. You need to understand timing. So in our case, don't forget that you already waited one day. So if you are telling this one to wait 3 days later, then you must understand. So in this case, I would rather do a drip instead. So you can take multiple actions from from a particular point. This is programming. You just have to flow the way you want it to be. So I can say that after you send this, wait additional 2 days and do this. So and just say 2. But I know that this adding up to that makes 3 days. Okay, then I select the email I want to use for this and I add. So like that, I'm beginning to build my campaign up gradually. All right, so let's wrap this up. Send reminder mail, send this. So this is how you continue to build. Now you can do it in a drip format. So instead of adding this here, you can also come back here and add another action. You can add another action so that your timing will be accurate. So you can say this should be sent 3 days because this is a drip campaign. So you can say this should be sent like this. So you can delete this one. So this makes your timing accurate because it means this one is 1 day from here, this one is 3 days from here, and you can do the next one, which is day 4. So okay, now you can see Day after day 3, we then have day 7, which is sending email to remind. That's reminder email. So send reminder email. So if you are sending a reminder email, you are waiting 7 days to send a reminder email. You can still take that action from the first one and click this email. So this is going to be send reminder email, wait 7 days. So you change this to 7 and you select the email you want to send and add. So this is how you continue to program this till you are done programming your entire flow. So take notes. This can go as wide as your imagination goes, as far as your imagination goes. Okay, this is just a sample template for a digital marketer that is trying to generate a lead for a real estate course. However, there are some things you would be using. For example, this last step, which is day 21, you want to follow up with a call. Now, you know that MSM cannot place a call for you, but guess what you can do? Let me show you what you can do. You can send a reminder to a team member or yourself that you need to follow up on this particular lead. So all you need to do is still come back to here and say take a action, but this time around you are saying send email to user, not send email this time around, send email to user. So you are saying that send email to user, and this is follow up with a phone call. All right. Then you select the user. So the user must be somebody that already exists on the system. So let's say you are sending email to this guy, and you also want to send it to this guy. So you can send it to as many people as you want. So so you say send email to, so just send this and select the email you want to send to this person, or you can quickly create a new one. So let's say this is the email I want to send, and I click add. So what happens is let's edit that. So we say 27 days later, right? So this, we wait for 27 days before sending this. So this is how you can begin to program. So you can program your campaign as much as possible. This campaign builder can help you build as many drip flows as your imagination goes. Once you're done, you click on the save button and close the builder. So you can review everything. Once you're done, you make sure you click on the publish button and your campaign is live. Everybody that then submits your form will begin to receive those emails at the specified time. Now, this campaign can go beyond this. Okay, it can be programmed to check if the guy has visited a page, if the person has paid. You can program it as much as possible. For example, let's see if we have a sample campaign. You can see, so a campaign can go as far as your imagination goes. Can you see? This is a sample campaign. So some of these campaigns has been programmed to check some things. So you can do checking before you send the next mail. You can take a decision. You can see. So these campaigns can go as far as you want. So you can see, I believe